Yo.
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 Yo, what's up, everyone?
I guess we'll start with introductions, maybe.
Yep. You want to go first?
Okay, Pentali. I run Rack 1, 2, 3, and yeah, that's it for me, I guess.
Yeah, Pentali's a great player. He's also found a big part of this route, but we'll get to that. I'm Robo. I'm a big strat hunter and runner. I like Ratchet too, but I love the series, and I can't wait to show it to you guys.
Yeah. And I'm Torbollen. I play pretty much only Ouya. And I found some boxes.
He found some tricks.
Yeah.
This is Eli. He's going to be commentating.
Yep.
If you're in the Ratchet community, you know Eli. He's a friendly face. He's always around. And that's all four of us.
No?
Okay. Eli, do you want to explain Walloper punches?
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, we get it then.
Let's get going.
Okay.
Let's get going.
So, the run starts about 4 seconds after I press circle. So, let's count down. 3, 2, 1. Start.
Go. Okay, yeah.
So right off the bat, he's doing
Okay.
Walloper cancel.
Yeah, so these are Walloper punches. The Walloper is a weapon that it's kind of meant to be a melee weapon where you punch forward and it attacks enemies. But we're going to do a trick here called an in-level movie cancel, ILM cancel, where essentially watching one of these cutscenes from the game's menu is going to completely reset Ratchet's animation. And that means we get the initial burst of speed, but we're not locked into the animation, so we can just chain that into side flips and make it really quickly through the first level. This is going to be our main movement tech until we get the helipack, and probably throughout the rest of the run as well. Ratchet 1 is a game, definitely, as a game, it's about preserving your momentum. And you see that Pentali's going to take his side flip there, and he's going to get ledged, unfortunately, but the whole thing of this game is that it's really hard to get your speed up, so you have to chain it together really fluidly to make it through each level. Because every time he goes into the menu, right, it takes a few seconds to play the cutscene and cancel it and exit. So he's going to want to do that as little as possible while clearing this level. Okay, nice. He hits the elevator in the cutscene, and, 1 minute in, we're already 2 levels in, so that's great.
Yep. Really fast pace. So buckle up.
Ooh.
So, I did my research before the run today. The last time Rack 1 was run at ESA was 2023.
Yeah.
And there have been big changes in the route.
You'd think that's pretty recent, but the Ratchet community moves at a breakneck pace, and this game is definitely not been an exception in the past few years. So you're going to see some stuff that's never been shown before at any marathon. That's always great.
And also, Rack 2 and Rack 3 also have had big changes.
Yeah, that's why we're really excited to show you this, because every single game in this run is completely different. And that's not part of the route, that's not a new trick, that's just him dying. But it's fine.
It happened. Happened to the best of us.
Unfortunately, I'm not the best.
Nah,
Sure,
Oh,
that's like-
whatever.
Yeah, so it's just Wallopers over this edge. We're gonna make a beeline to this cutscene. This is gonna give us. Ooh! We should probably explain what's happening with the PDA. I guess we haven't explained
we haven't
that.
talked about that.
Oh, the PDA is pretty broken in this game.
You know how we said the ILMs reset your state? Well, so does the PDA, but in a slightly different way. But what that means is that whenever you open and close the PDA, the game thinks you're on the ground for a few frames, and you can buffer a side flip out of that to essentially gain infinite height. Those are called PDA side flips. And there's also PDA infinite jumps where you just swing the wrench and jump out of it. And we're using that to cross those gaps there. But now we have the helipack. The helipack is going to let us get a bit more speed than what we got from the Waller punches. Because one nice thing with the helipack in this game is that whenever you long jump and you stay neutral on the skip, you don't press any direction, you gain a bit more speed each time. And so we're going to get up to a decent speed with the Walloper, and then we're going to be building up and building up and building up our speed with the helipack with a few glitches to get even more speed. You'll notice when he long jumps, it looks a bit weird, because what he's doing there is called a mid-air long jump. Really, it should be called a double long jump, I suppose, because what he's doing is he's long jumping. And this game has a grace period after you long jump where you can turn it into a side flip because the inputs are a bit similar. And he's actually doing a long jump, then a side flip, and then a long jump again in the span of about a second. and that gives him more or less twice the speed. It's more like 1.5 times, but it's, you know, he gets a good chunk of speed out of that, and from there you can see, I mean, you saw that on the right, he just goes through as soon as he gets the helipack.
On Eudora, you're gonna see a concept that's in most Ratchet games, where the beginning is at the end of the level. So
Yes.
I'm just gonna clip through this wall, and we're at the end of the level, and
Yeah.
there's no need to backtrack.
Yeah, they just put it through that wall because, you know, surely no one's going to be able to go through the wall. I mean, all of these games are free. I mean, really, most games in the entire Ratchet series has some way to go through walls. In this game, you just saw it's a decoy glove. It's just meant to be this weapon that you throw it and it distracts the enemies, but it has the solid collision and it can just push you through walls.
Or later, you can also just use the camera to clip for walls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we'll
gonna
be seeing
happen
a lot
here
of
on
that.
Blarg.
Yeah, on blog.
Blarg.
Yeah, so basically anything that is solid and has collision can push you, right? So we use the decoy there, but one thing that is solid and has collision in this game is the camera, and this surely will not be used in every single game constantly. Spoiler alert, it will. In this case, he's going to go in the corner and set up the camera against the wall, and he's going to push it into himself, and then if he backflips, it's going to give him enough momentum to push him straight through the wall. That's slightly faster than putting up a decoy clip. And now he's going to do a trick called Pod Warp. He's going to kill the decoy first. So Pod Warp is essentially playing an in-level movie during this animation of the pod. And that basically resets him and makes him playable during the cutscene. During the cutscene, you're at the start of the level. For some reason, they just put you there. So we can leave before the cutscene finishes, and hey, we're off.
Yeah. Now comes the Blackwater City Railguard.
Okay, this is a really cool and iconic planet. If you've seen a Ratchet Clank speedrun before, you probably know what's going to happen. But, you know, if you don't, I don't want to spoil it, so let's see.
Let's just hope it works.
Oh my god. That is an infinite long jump. So certain surfaces in these games, it's like mud and water in Ratchet 1. They essentially have some kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but I guess it's some kind of bugged collision. Whenever you're above it, the game always thinks you're like on the ground. So what it does is it lets you do those mid-air long jumps over and over and over and over again because it says, okay, well, if you're still on the ground, you should still be able to cancel your side flip into a long jump or whatever. And that's going to be used 2 planets in a row here. This next planet is quite infamous. It has quite a tricky trick called Ship to Boss.
Which is basically an ILJ from start to finish.
Yeah, it is what it sounds like. But first, he's going to have to do some setup here. He's just going to kill himself. And when he's dead, the game... Yeah. Shout out. When he's dead, the game uncaps his speed.
Oh.
But obviously he's not dead. But he went into a dying state. The game was like, okay, you're dying. I'm going to disable your collision. And then he undied. So he still has no collision. And he can go right through these walls. Which is helpful because walls can get in the way sometimes. And that was really good.
Very nice.
A really good run so far.
Now this is where the route starts to differ from the old route.
Yeah, this is where things start to get a bit different. This is Battalia. It's just a very clean movement-based planet. Let's see. Get it here. We're gonna start with a Walloper and just chain these long jumps over and over. He's gonna do a thing there where he opens the PDA just to stop himself. You can just use that to adjust your spacing because it kind of resets your... You keep your speed when you open the PDA, but you stop. So you can use it to kind of change around ledges and stuff. And he's just gonna load here to get back to the start quickly.
There's a chain you can do there, but I failed the Walloper and it saves only a couple of seconds, so
Yeah.
might as well reload.
Okay, now the big game changer is coming up.
Yeah, this is probably the most important split of the run. So, where do we start with this? So, if you're a casual Ratchet & Clank player, you might have seen a video a few years ago called, it's by the Rixer, Shallow Ricky, called Ratchet & Clank Unsolved Mystery. And it essentially talks about a theoretical skip that had never been found in the game called Pokeskip. Now, this is Oxon. Oxon is a planet you have to visit twice. First of all, you play as Clank, and you have to get an Infobot for a planet called Pokitaru. And then you go to Pokitaru as Ratchet. You get an item called the O2 Mask. And then with the O2 Mask, you can come back here and play as Ratchet. And Pokeskip is the idea that, well, you can already play on this level as Clank. So what if you just beat the level as Clank? Which, spoiler alert, is what you are seeing right now. The thing is with this planet, it's not just go to the end, like most planets in this game. You actually have to chase the Infobot through a series of 7 checkpoints, which makes it probably one of the hardest to do as Clank, like just in theory, right? So the video basically ends off with, well, you know, we're pretty far from doing this, you know, we found a way to get to most of the positions, but like, we just can't really finish it off, and you know, it probably wouldn't be faster anyway, even if we could do it. And that's where it stood for like a lot of the time. And if you look at like the community around then, everyone was saying like, well, there's no way this is ever going to be possible. And if it's possible, it's not going to be something people do in runs. And even if it is something people can do, it's not going to be something that's faster. But I mean, you're looking at it right now, and it's faster. We're doing it in runs. This is actually, it saved, believe it or not, about a minute and a half. And more or less, that's all thanks to Pentel here. A few other people too. Shout out to Kank and Adapi, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some people.
Isaac.
We have, Izaki, some really great Ratchet and Clank Strain Hunters came together to make this possible. Complete reroute of this category and also of any percent. Huge time save, and you know, this is just super cool to see.
By the way, that's what position 2 out of 7.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess I should explain what's going on here as well,
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
the tech that we're using. So the main driver behind this skip is called the Clank Ledge Proxy. This is another camera trick where you're essentially going to move the camera below Clank and kind of jump onto it. And you kind of collide with it and get stuck and punch. And then there's this like classic speedrunning thing where, well, you get stuck in some collisions, so the game tries to free you and it just launches you upwards. And that's mainly what's happening here. We're also going into the ILMs. That's called a big clank jump. And what that's essentially doing is making your long jump, making your high jump or your single jump a bit more floaty, getting a bit more extra height. And the same concept applies to the proxies as well. And then the last thing is just camera clips, where you just go an L1 against a wall and the camera pushes you through if you have a very specific setup. And, you know, we're actually almost at the end of this here. So this is the last position?
Next to the last, yeah.
Yeah. And this just involves climbing this tower. This one can be a bit tricky because there's some invisible ledges you have to kind of stand on and proxy off, but we should be okay.
Yeah. Oh, it was low. Oh. Okay, that should make go up on the grass. Do one last one. And we have the info.
Wow! That was amazing! That was amazing. That's really hard. That's put a lot of people off from this kind of... That's like a brutal thing to learn and execute, so that's amazing.
What happened now, though, was we skipped Pokey, and on Pokey you usually get the thruster pack.
Yeah, we're actually...
Thruster pack is required on the last planet to press a button to actually complete the game.
Yeah. Oh no, we can't complete the game. Ah, wow. We'll see.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we can do something. I don't know. We'll make it up as we go along, right?
On Hoven, there's a ship fight, and if you just stand a bit further right and wait for a couple of seconds, you can force the ship to go up. And
Yo, that's
Yo.
the high ship right
High
in the
ship.
scene. Yeah, just to explain that, the checkpoint for this turret extends all the way down. It doesn't check your height, which is kind of the classic Ratchet bug that they keep forgetting to do in every single game. But it works out well for us. They should find Hoven Skip, I agree with that one. Get on it, Pentali.
This is really slow.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. He did not die.
No, don't
Don't
quit.
exit.
That would be
That
bad.
would've been bad, yeah.
We should probably explain what we're doing for the whole run. Because it's not only Rec 1.
Oh, the relay bit? Well, so we're gonna be running all 3 games in a row, and it's gonna be like the New Game Plus versions of the games.
Yep. So we're gonna have all the gadgets as you've been seeing. We've been using them and abusing them, and we're gonna be saying
Oh, that's rough.
every single Ratchet and Clank game. Can you believe the guys are wearing all 3 Ratchet and Clank games that exist?
Nice back up.
Yep. Very nice. The cutscene to the end of the fight is just there, and you can hit it whenever.
He's always active.
Which, yeah, I mean, pretty much every trigger in this game is always active, which is why every planet in this game is just go to the end and then come back.
We're gonna do Altanis, which is basically flankless movement. So we could probably read a couple of donations.
That'll be great. Thank you very much. We have $10 from Gokili with no message, but they contributed to the Final Fantasy VII Aqualung song target. And we have $5 from Foas with a message, so nice seeing the whole trilogy back to back. Can we get a $5 train perhaps? Eyes emoji. And that was also contributed to the Aqualung song for the Final Fantasy VII run later today.
That would be huge, Thoas. Thank you. Shout, Thoas.
Yo. Or do.
Yeah, we're coming up to the final stretch here.
The last 3 planets. Well, 2 planets and a space station.
We call all the levels planets, but there's some that aren't actually planets. So
This is a huge discovery. Which can come with the slope here. These are sides. I mean, don't worry about it. Just go against the slope and then let you jump off it again. There's a cutscene you hit it from out of bounds, and you come down here and then like, oh yeah, they should put that. Okay, cool. Good planet. Okay, so 2 to go. This is the second last planet in the game. Rick's Fleet. This is one of the big planets where we're kind of saddened by the loss of the thruster pack. So the thruster pack works pretty similarly to the heli pack. Only you can't really build up a speed with it, but at the same time you have a jump that goes much further. And so what we'd usually do here is we switch to the thruster pack and we switch to the thruster pack and we use that with the PDA to get across this gap. It's gonna be a bit slower to use the heli pack and just long jump with that instead, but you know, we can more than make do with it. And oh, that was gonna be a really cool backup.
it's just the normal jumps.
Yeah, because you don't want to build up your speed here and get as far as possible before you open the PDA, because the PDA obviously is quite slow. But you know, it's no problem. And we're gonna find a hole in the collision here, and we are through. And now there's only one more planet left to go.
And surprise, surprise. It's the first planet we started on.
Whoa, no way.
You know what they say, the beginning is at the end?
It's true, it's true. And we're back on Thalvin.
Yo, the source code.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Okay, so this is a cool game here. We're gonna see, I think, the first instance of the long jump SI. You open PDA against a specific point in the slope, and it lets you long jump and keep all your speed against that slope. That's going to be used to get through this valley. Really well done. And we're going to get on this platform, dodge the final boss trigger, and then we're coming up on the final boss. So this is a 3-stage fight, but it's Ratchet and Clank, so the ending stage is always active, and we just have to make our way over there. The easiest way is going to be to do that is just going to be to long jump over there, or high jump over there, I suppose, over and over. There are some strats you can do here that are faster, quite a lot faster with this route. I think like 40 seconds faster, but they are not marathon safe. They are two of the most insanely hard strats, probably in the entire series. So let's not think about that. Let's just watch as we jump, and we're coming up on the boss. He should spawn in a bit.
So we said we don't have the thruster pack. The game is really nice and just gives it to us.
Yeah, because
If
you
you
need
damage
it
the
for this
boss.
final section, the game just equips it for you as like kind of a way to save on menuing, I suppose, but it doesn't check to see if you have it before doing that, so it's just gonna give it to us. I mean, we don't even have it in our inventory, but we're gonna be wearing it, which is nice because we kind of need it to like beat the game and stuff, and we kind of do like beating the game. We're gonna use a glitch with the Pyrocipher here. It does damage on every frame if you're inside the boss's hitbox.
And we're coming up in time?
Yep. Well, not on time for
No,
the
not
round.
on
No,
time,
no,
yeah,
no.
Oh,
no.
right, because
Just for this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Just for this.
First run, the first game.
And that's rack 1 done.
2030, that's really good. That's really good. And yo, it's the mission screen. Alright.
Do we change seats?
Yep. I think so.
Let's see.
How's this gonna work?
Watch out my cable.
Yep, so I'm gonna be running next. I'm just gonna change over the resolution really quickly. I'm gonna play in 16:9. Oh, I'm gonna play in 4:3 just to reduce lag a bit. We can probably get a donation or two if there are any while we're changing games.
That is great. We have a $10 donation from Aquas with the message, "Hello Ratchet Bunch, good luck and have fun."
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so Ratchet 2, it's pretty different to Ratchet 1. Ignore that icon. Ratchet 2 is pretty different to Ratchet 1 because we have this gadget called the Charge Boots. And the Charge Boots are... This is bad. Oh, no, I'm player 1. Okay. That's fine. There we go. I should probably load the beginning of the game. Yeah, we have the gadget called the Charge Boots, and that lets us double tap R1 to get a burst of speed. So the problem is no longer going to be building up speed. We have a way to get to max speed pretty much instantly. The big thing is going to be redirecting that speed, and we have a few ways to do that. I would rather someone else explain it while I lock it in, but essentially we are going to be using the decoy. The decoy, if we throw a decoy, it basically lets us go in a state where we can use all that speed and chain it into a side flip, long jump. Well, we don't have not a long jump, but we can chain it into movement and do things out of that. Can someone explain proxies and stuff?
So if you have speed in this game and you go into the decoy throwing animation, you are going to keep that speed even going up slopes. So
Stuck.
that means you can gain massive height just by charging against the slope. You're going to
Yeah.
see it right here, and just like that you go to the top of the ship and charge
Yeah.
to the end.
Yeah, basically left slope or slope equals a lot of height, and that's great. Because we like getting height.
Oh, yeah, that ship has just collision all over the place.
Yeah, everything in
no
this game
effect.
has collision, like everywhere, for some reason.
I mean, I think in the first games it makes sense because of the Visi bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving on a tree is out of bounds on Muslim.
Yeah, this is just a level with just clean movement.
There's Yen.
And here we do a skip called Whooper skip, where if you press triangle instead of X in the ship menu, you can just skip a ship level. Because That's
Oh,
how
that's
these
some-
games works, I
Oh, yeah,
guess.
this one.
There you go.
Okay,
Alright,
there we go.
nice.
Yeah, you basically exit the ship and select the planet at the same time,
Big.
and it skips a tutorial level that you wouldn't even know was there if we didn't mention it. What level? There was another level there.
Yeah.
Gaslighting goes crazy.
Clean entry.
Very nice.
Yep. We're seeing also some wrench jumps, so I mean this game is just crazy with what it lets you do out of the charge. You can chain a lot of stuff together, and you know at the end of the charge you can swing the wrench, and that lets us do movement out of that and keep all of our speed, and that's good because we like having speed, and it lets us cross really big gaps like that and just get to wherever we want to be really fast. This I'm just going to be charging around and killing some bulk ranks. There's not really much to say here.
Also, notice that the charges are slow on this planet. Then
Yeah, this is a spherical planet.
yeah.
Again, redundant phrase. But
We can probably read some donations here.
yep. Burning.
We do indeed. We have $5 from definitely the real Zem92.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
He's so real with the message, "Hey guys, I love Racket and Blank for the Xbox. Xbox Nation."
Xbox Nation! Shout out!
Shout out. Thank you, definitely the real Zem92.
Thanks, Sam. We're just gonna do a little, I guess, not really a corner cut, but like a little cut here where we're just gonna grab underneath. This is a first-person mode infinite jump. If you ever, like, this is a pretty infamous glitch because you can basically do it at home. All you have to do is double jump and then go into first-person mode, and you can climb up walls if you spam the wrench. And that's an intended mechanic, by the way. They knew about that and they left it in the game because they thought it was funny, which is cool. I think it's funny too, mostly because it saves like a minute in the run. We're gonna see some camera properties here. We've already, you've seen the camera launching us in the air in like 5 different ways during this run, and this is another way to do it with the decoy. Oh, I didn't get enough height there. Yeah.
So just like in Rack 1, you can use a camera that has collision to push Ratchet in different ways, either through walls or up slopes or up walls.
Nice.
So
Now this is an arena. It's just memorizing enemy spawns.
Yeah, we're gonna grab some ammo here because we want to wait before killing this wave here. And from here on, we just do everything as fast as possible, pretty much. It's just one of them up the spawns. One thing about this game is it only spawns enemies when you're looking, because it doesn't want you to get like hit by enemies off screen. That'd be kind of like that. So we use that to our advantage to kind of remove spawns here. I know they're going to spawn behind me, so that contradicts what I just said, but don't worry about it. And let's see. And that's the only arena in the run. This is gonna be hard. The water's a bit suspicious. Oh.
Happens.
So we did this to skip a puzzle, which we just got the electrolyzer for.
Yeah, we just got this electrolyzer that lets us do puzzles, like unlocking a bridge, which we definitely need.
Yo, we just got in Darko.
Shout out to Ndako.
Nice corner cut. And we're gonna Barlow. Oh boy, Barlow.
Yo, when do we get Barlow?
Here we have a very interesting trick coming up.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a 2-minute long racing section where you have to drive around the track 3 times. I'm just kidding, no it isn't. This is not the first time this has been shown in a marathon, but it's a relatively new trick. I think it's from 23. And essentially what we're going to be doing is manipulating the lap system of the race. If we drive in, there's this trigger at the start of the race, and if we drive in and out of it on the same frame, the game thinks we're still in it, and it allows us to finish a lap without driving much of anything. I need to lock in here. I don't know.
And this is a frame perfect trick that has to be done 3 times. So it can be tough sometimes.
Maybe? Yeah, the other thing to note about this is that there's no visual indication of when you hit it or not. So you just have to know, I suppose.
You feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to build up a kind of sense to it. I think I was too far. Do it rid of it.
No.
There's some delay on this monitor.
Happens. It's okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Nice.
Lap 2.
So an optimal lap in this race is 42.3 about.
Hey, nice. Very nice.
We just did 3 laps at 51.
Yeah, the world record for that race is 11 seconds, .2 by this guy. It might be 11 flat actually. I don't know. It's fast. You can do it
Wait,
really
wasn't
fast.
it 10.8?
Yeah, sure. The world record is 10.8 by this guy.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Hey, now Felton. Felton is the actual first ship level.
Yeah, there are ship levels in this game. I mean, they're not really much in this category because we have this thing called a nuke. The nuke is the super upgrade that you can shoot and it kills all the enemies on screen, which is kind of OP. I don't know what they put it in the game. I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
That's Felton.
That's it.
We used to do a frame perfect trick there too, but we realized if we just wait for the wave to spawn and restart the mission, we get the nuke back.
Yeah, we
We
have to
can
shoot
just
it
finish.
twice. Shout out to Mato for that one, I think.
Yep.
Oops. Ow. We didn't get any checkpoints during this level, so the fish is just going to take us back to the start. This is a really cool movement planet coming up. There's a long movement section that you have to do entirely out of bounds, and there are no textures. So this is really hard when you're beginning out. It's not too hard if you know what you're doing, but you do have to just build up a kind of muscle memory for where everything is. But first I need to get out of bounds.
Also the reason
I'm out of bounds.
she's like double wrench swinging before. If you do that, you get extra height on like camera proxies.
That was close.
That
Nice.
was Siberius. That's the boss. And the boss is dead.
I love doing that.
In classic Ratchet and Clank fashion, the bosses have about 5 HP in the speedrun.
Yep.
So they die if they stub their toe.
This
Bravo.
is kind of the start of the second half to the run. There's going to be a lot of a frame perfect trick here. Let me knock the door.
Stuck on.
So this is mid-air charge. Wait,
This is
maybe.
a turret clip. This is a mid charge.
Yeah, that's a mid-air.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So this is kind of the run killer segment of the run because... Well, it's not over yet. I remembered!
Yeah. Very
Amazing.
Nice.
So these are frame perfect, and in these two planets you have to do 3 of them, which can kill your run. Essentially, the charge in this game lasts for about a second, and after that you start losing height and distance and speed quickly. So the only way around that really, if you want to cross a really long distance, because we don't have Clank or anything, we didn't get him. He's like an optional gadget on a planet we don't even go to because it doesn't have any coordinates.
Shout out to Sven Darko.
Yep. So the only way to cross gaps is essentially to refresh your charge by pressing circle on one frame apart, and that lets you cross the gaps, but I mean, it's frame perfect, so it's pretty hard to do, and hopefully I can hit it here. I've never failed this in a marathon before, so it would be cool if I hit it.
Yeah, she has to do it twice here. Very.
Yo.
The best to ever do it!
2 frame perfect.
This sucks. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like,
That's mandatory.
Very awkward right after.
yeah, this is really hard. If I hit this, oh my god, I did it! Frame perfect electrolyzer.
So you have to definitely use to spawn in the teleporter so you
Yep.
can even leave. Oh, the next ship level, Brugus.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that. I
Let
thought
the
we were
gameplay
going to
speak
Dino.
for itself.
I'm gonna try a strat called Zero Drop here. There we go.
And we're done.
Yeah, that was hard. It's not. It's okay. But it looks really cool.
It's Tando time.
It's
Yo,
kind of.
Nintendo. Glitching on Nintendo.
Yeah, I would say we're glitching here, personally. Like, this seems like a glitch to me. Ow.
That's how you see like how broken like the charge wheels are, and like combination with like the decoy cloth on
Yeah, the
top.
glove is just completely bonkers in this game. It can be used with everything, it's just completely broken. You can use it to, I mean, again, just the amount of freedom you have in this game, it's really what makes this my favorite game in the trilogy. You have so much freedom to move about with the glove. You can just take your charge, move that movement direction anywhere. You can take it up, you can take it through. It's just, yeah. I need to buy ammo here, I think.
Yep.
This is a platform here that has no use, but the end of the level is right here, so I think the developers put it in here for us, which was nice of them. There's a hole in the wall here.
Yeah, that wall just doesn't exist if you approach it from the right angle. So,
Walls are just a suggestion.
Yeah, this is kind of the third section of the run. This is kind of the entry plus portion. There's a category that skips to the last planet we just saw. I doubt.
Oh, that's wrong.
This is just the same as Orkson, pretty much. It's just some Clank stuff. You've already seen a lot of Clank stuff, so we can probably get a donation in.
That sounds good to me. We have $5 from Anance with the message, I blinked and I seem to have missed Ratchet 1. What happened? Which was contributed to the Aqualung song target for Final Fantasy VII. We have $5 from Big Super Guy 19 with
Yo.
the message,
Yo.
thank you for showcasing the whole truth about how tough these games are. GL from me and Franz Core NO. Hashtag gear up Ratchet. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Big Super Guy. I'm your biggest fan. Wow, cool. You have a world record. Nope, did it quite there.
yeah, we just clipped through every door that's supposed to be opened with gadget bots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All using the camera.
Oh.
There's a hole in the wall here. That's the Clank section, so you're not really supposed to be in there as Ratchet, so they didn't really finish the collision.
And this is like the biggest use of first-person mode wall
We're just gonna
climbing.
climb through the edge of the level here. You spawn really low on this level, so this is the fastest way to the end, which is right over here. Really cool strat here. Let's see if I can.
Yes.
Nice.
Ow! We're gonna hit the cutscene from Out of Bounds and hopefully speed clip through that barrier. There we go.
Yes. Let's go. That's back up. Just the quick.
Oh, you still hit the cool part. I think.
Yeah, that's the cool part. Saves about a second if you hit it perfectly.
Gorin, the last ship level of the game.
This is the longest ship level, but it's not long. These ships don't die instantly to the nuke, which is a new thing in the run, but they take about a missile and a half to finish off. And then there's a cutscene which we usually skip, but didn't.
Yo, use the warp machine.
Oh yeah, use the warp. You can use the warp there to save time. That's an ancient piece of knowledge.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's an ancient PS2 strats. We're not playing on PS2 though. Oh yeah, I still have the swing shot. We should mention this.
Oh,
I
we
never got
didn't
the
talk
swing
about
shot
that.
during the run, but I had it with me at the start. You're supposed to unlock it during the run, but I didn't. I actually had it from a previous playthrough, and it lets you keep the gadget. So you can just, if you have it in your secondary slot, it just lets you keep it around. And I've been basically switching to the swing shot before I switch weapon, so I keep it as my secondary weapon.
If
And
we
that's
open
just
the
to save
menu,
time there.
if we open the menu, it's gonna
Oh.
say you don't have the swing shot.
Yeah. I tried to
you
do
just hold it in your
what's called
hand.
an insta clip there, where you basically throw the turret as you hit the wall, and it clips you right through. They're a bit finicky.
Okay, this is the most annoying boss in the entire franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy has way too much health. You're supposed to kill him with the turrets, but I mean, our weapons are strong enough to kill him, but it does take a while. We just charged underneath him so he gets stuck, and then we just shoot him in the Goodbye.
Goodbye. The boss. Boom. The most annoying boss defeated in like less than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Got one more with charge here.
Oh yeah, small. It's like
This is the hardest planet in the
Yeah.
game. This is a
By far.
brutal planet. If you make one mistake, the whole thing here is essentially if you make one
Nice.
if you make one mistake, you die. I mean, you see like this planet, everything is just in the air, and especially the segment at the end, which, well, hold on. Oops. Fine.
I just realized we didn't explain BL mod.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're playing on a version of the game that's kind of like a. Oh. Yeah.
Community made a movement patch for the game.
Yeah, this is essentially the PS2 version ported to. There's some version differences.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like that section at the end, the rail, is just so hard because you have to be perfect with your angles, and if they're slightly off, you are falling to your death, and there's no way to save it. I mean, like, what can you do? There's nothing there.
You have to go all the way to the start again.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take it slow because there's some delay on this monitor. So I'm usually recharge here, but I'm just gonna hold it out.
Yeah.
Pussy out a bit. Okay, there we go.
Ah! Shot it. Oh.
We'll have to take the reload.
Yeah, no problem. There's about a there's a couple seconds if you can hit a chain through there.
It's a very cool movement chain you can do.
And there's only 2 more planets.
In fact, only 2 more. Then it's already done. This game done. This is Planet Kralben, the second
True.
snow planet of this game.
Yeah, nobody knows why they put 2 in this game. Snow planets are almost always horrible in this series, but the ones in this game are okay. Okay.
That was Kralben.
Yep. Grab one's really short. It's a nice little breather for you before the end of the game, and this planet's pretty hard. Just, you know.
Planet. Starting up with like some out of bounds movement into an insta clip.
Ow. Not quite far enough there.
It looks really satisfying if done correctly.
Okay, can we clip? No. Didn't get to show them off.
Almost.
What's in it?
I think you're delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, like the outer ring of the window has collision. You can just French climb it.
And this is the final boss. Smile.
Final boss dies first, because
Ratchet
every boss.
Nice.
Alright, nice.
Black one's a 2030, right? So this is like a.
Yep.
What time is this run? I don't know. This is Ratchet Clank Trilogy. This is what it normally looks like. Okay. You wanna? Yeah.
Oh wait, this ah yes, that works.
Woo.
Oh
Oh yeah. Let me get rid of my. Let me unsign my controller. Yeah. Okay. Ouya. So Ouya is pretty similar to Ratchet 2. It's more similar than Rec 2 as the Rec 1, I guess. But there are some major differences. There are a few extra pieces of tech that are gonna.
What?
Oh.
Hello?
Menuing time loss.
Okay, sure.
Woo!
Oh yeah, wait. I
Oh,
almost
Italian?
went Italian.
Yeah, we're gonna play in Spanish for this game because it's faster.
But only for this category.
Yep.
This is important for a setup on the planet after the first one.
Yeah. So this is pretty similar to Ratchet 2, but there's one major trick that is additional in this game, and you're about to see that. It's a pretty normal looking trick.
Yeah. Right off the bat.
Oh, I had what do you call it?
There you go.
Yeah, so this is called the box proxy. Box yeet, whatever you want to call it. The slot cannon, they re-added it back in this game from Ratchet 1, but this time you can suck up boxes. And if you do that, you can switch weapon to suspend it, and that stores a lot of momentum. And if you then jump into it in a specific way, it sends you flying across the map. And this saves, you know, several minutes in this category. It's, you know, a controversial trick that has completely changed this game.
That was well done.
Yeah.
And what Turbulent did there on Veldin after the ship is he killed a bunch of specific enemies
Yeah.
that
This level
made
is
it
really
so he
hard.
can skip the entirety of Flora and he just spawns at the final boss of this level.
Wow, that was a hard level. Very hard. And that's called... Yep. That's called Porkwall, but it only works in Spanish and German, and if you kill certain enemies, it just spawns you there. We don't know why, and we never will know why, probably. I mean, that's... It's been around for, like, you know, probably, like, the best part of the
8
decade
years.
at this point. Yeah.
At least 8 years. Okay, this is Starship Phoenix. We're like the hub of this game, like the hub area.
Yeah, we're just gonna hit a few cutscenes here. This is where you kind of see the similarity to Ratchet 2. There's some major differences. The charge moves in this game have a lot more control over your direction. You can curve them a lot more, which makes this game a lot more flexible. And we also have Clank in this game. I guess that's cool.
Nice middle charge you got there.
Yep. Frame perfect.
Yep. We just kill ourselves there, and we're off to Marcadia.
The middle charges are slightly harder in this game than to Ratchet 2.
Gonna explain ELDF.
Yeah, so this is the I mean, I don't want to spoil too much because it's a really visually impressive trick. It's definitely the biggest new discovery in this game. Say it's like probably like 5 minutes at this point, how much it's been optimized. Because this is a level with some really long combat missions you're forced to do. Including like a 2-minute long auto-scroller where there's literally nothing you can do. I mean, it's literally just equip the shield and like go take a break during this section of the run. But what we're gonna instead do is suck up a box and imbue it with some speed, and then we're going to let's see if he hits it.
Yo.
Yo! Yeah, you need a lot of height for this level. The second half of the level is stored really, really high above the map. And so just a boxy isn't enough. You also need to hit a very specific spot to launch yourself upwards again to get enough height to just barely hit the refractor, which sends you upwards.
Ah. Oh, this might not be good.
Oh.
I'm just gonna take a death there, I think.
Yeah. Respawning boxes. Shout out to dying. Classic Ratchet and Clank strat.
Now we get flat.
Nice.
Yeah, so these boxes are very specific in their setup, so you need to memorize a bunch of setup for every launch.
This one is probably the most specific one in the run. That one is really finicky.
It's arguably the hardest, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was Marcadia. The longest split in the run, basically almost the shortest, but now.
Well, no, but
Almost.
it's up there.
How long did it used to be? Like 8 minutes?
Yeah, it's like 7 or 8 minutes.
Now it's like 1.5
Yeah.
ish.
We're back at the Phoenix.
Doing the same thing again.
What
No.
the R-skip here?
Yeah.
So the R-skip is this big sequence break in this game. It's been around for like again also like the best part of the decade. Probably actually a decade. Where you skip 2 planets. Basically you are supposed to do 2 planets to unlock this section, but you can just go into it. If you can get there, you can get into it from any time. We used to do it by clipping out of bounds and charging over there, but that's a much faster way to do it.
Which caused the entire reroute to put Marcadia now at the start of the run instead of like in the middle.
Yeah, and this is the comic, but we don't actually play it because you can skip it. And just-
Shoutouts to you, Andy.
The chin of Chad. Oh. Yeah, that's normal. The game does that. No, it doesn't. This is Dax. Dax is a boss we have to kill and a cutscene we have to hit. So we'll start going to the boss. We're at the boss. Start fast. I'm gonna charge up a shot to hit him. This is the shot cannon. It's the first weapon in the game, but it's absurdly overpowered.
Almost perfect.
Because you can charge up a shot and then
Also,
spin
second
around
strats.
to hit multiple times, and it just completely melts enemies when you do that.
Oh. This might be bad.
Oh, it just about makes it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the first weapon we get in the game, but it's also our main way of dealing damage, so...
Yep.
And now we're Gemini.
Yeah. Bunny Gemini is slightly a breather.
This one is like jamming. It has like weird charge through the cap.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, we're back. Okay.
Okay.
Obama Jim.
Yeah, just wrench slinging off that wall, just you can jump out of again. This clip is kind of finicky, especially on PS4.
Ah.
Yeah, just skip the entire first half of the level, you just get in the wall here and go through. Cool.
Nice.
And this is a pretty hard trick here called a double long jump.
Or packs one.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the thruster pack and then this is the first time we've seen the thruster pack in the entire series, so there it is. I think this is probably the last time you'll see the thruster pack in the entire series, so bye.
I'm too far forward, yeah. Fuck.
Oh, unfortunate. Yeah, the idea there is to essentially swap to the heli pack, and that gives you the speed of both the thruster pack and heli pack combined in one jump. And you can use that to just get to this ledge and make it over to this cutscene a bit faster. This is about 10-15 seconds, I'm not sure.
Oh, that was close.
There we go.
Okay,
I have nano pack, I should.
now is something very specific he's gonna do
Okay, yeah.
now. Just watch and just watch.
Watching it there. Gonna get schooled. Okay. And we are going to load a file. Which is, you're supposed to do this, I think. Yeah, he's loading a file during loading a file, which is, as you can imagine, has some pretty interesting consequences. Oh.
There we go.
Yeah, so this looks normal, apart from, if you've played this game before, you realize he's on the final mission, and the wrong music is playing. So what's happening here is the game thinks he's on the previous planet. We loaded the file at the last possible second, so it loaded all the assets, all the textures, all the game objects from this level, but it still thinks we're on the previous level. And what that means is that our progress is essentially, we're taking the progress from the previous level. But obviously, because this level is completely different, that progress is interpreted in a completely different way. In this case, basically just unlocking the final mission instantly, and that's all we have to do. And that's the only ranger mission in the run. There used to be like 8 or 9. That's the only one.
All of this makes it so that you can't use the Rhino during the run.
Oh yeah, we bought the Rhino, because we had to use a PSN trophy to do that strat, so we had to, you get one for buying the Rhino weapon, so that's the only time we see the Rhino in this run. We don't actually have it. Ah. Yeah.
This part can be kind of cheeky.
Yeah, this is a cool looking planet. We're just gonna go to the trigger over here. There we go.
This is the arena planet of the game.
And now we're just gonna set up a death as we're killing the boss so that we can die as soon as possible. There we go.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna do another instance of the trick you just stole is called level smashing. It's essentially a way to take your progress from one level and turn it to progress in a different level. And we did it twice during the round.
But this time we don't even take progression.
Yeah, we just need to change the planet. But,
We just need to leave the
Technically.
planet, basically.
yeah. This is the Clank section. It's pretty long. It's like a minute of Clank gameplay, and then you have to kill a boss as Giant Clank. But we're just gonna leave.
Yeah,
This is not the right file.
I'm saving.
Oh, but I'm stupid.
Yeah, I was about to say.
We've had enough Clank for.
Yeah, we've had
today.
enough Clank already. We don't really want to see him anymore. So, yeah, that's normal, I think.
We can probably read a couple of donations while this is happening.
That's perfect. Thank you very much. We have $25 from King DDD with the message,
Yo.
Ratchet and Clank 3 is my favorite game, and the best part is definitely the combat missions on Macaria. I can't wait to see Tabilla and play through them quickly and skillfully on the big stage at ESA. Hashtag Year of Ratchet. We have $50 from Zastra91 with the message, give me my Goosebert shirt for my Goosebert shirt collection. Honk honk. Great to see ESA again. Great event so far. And they, of course, have got a t-shirt with that and contribute to the Soul Flame Color Black for Evergate and the Era Final Fight for Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, shout out to DDD. Great run of this game. Former world record holder in this category, and I think pretty much every other category in this game. And great guy. So we're going to do a little proxy here. We haven't seen too many proxies in this game. You can do them in this game, but they're a bit more restrictive compared to Ratchet 2. But we're going to do one now to get on top of the level, and then the ship is right there. He does a little cutscene skip there by getting in the ship as the cutscene is playing.
I mean, we have a lot of time.
Yeah, okay, this is a very difficult level coming up.
This is a run killer
Yeah.
at top level.
You can spend 5 minutes here if you want.
I could, yeah.
We have plenty of time, that's true. So he's gonna get this enemy to knock him through the lava, and then he's gonna charge to the end of the level. Oh, unfortunate. These are more meta charges. They're a bit harder in Ouya. Pretty much the same concept, but he has to do 3 in a row optimally. Well, he has to do 8 in a row optimally, but probably gonna get away with 3 here. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go.
Yeah, second try is very good. That cannot be understated. How difficult it is to hit 3 of those in a row. And we're on the boss. This music is great, by the way. What a banger. Yeah, can we get some dancing? Oh yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, we opened the PDA there to skip some dialogue. It just does that. I'll let you leave a few seconds sooner. Yep. Okay, so this planet is also pretty cool. This is gonna be hitting a cutscene that's stored below the level, but it's invisible, and there's a visual cue, but he's just gonna YOLO it. Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
We're just gonna die here to load everything in, and okay, let's see the time.
Oh,
No! Guys, we gotta reset the run.
didn't
Give it
get
back to
the video.
Pentel.
It's not worth continuing.
Yeah.
49.
I think we gotta just clear out the next run. I'm sure it wasn't important. I'm gonna run this back.
Whatever.
Yeah.
This is vidcomic skip. You can kind of skip every single vidcomic in NG+, but you need to do them in order. Unless you just press square and X on the same frame.
Yeah, pressing square and X in the same frame lets you Yeah, we didn't collect the comic 2, so we just completely bypassed the need to get it. You can get it, it doesn't lose much
Okay,
time.
who wants to see more
we go.
boxies?
Oh yeah.
Only one person, it seems.
This is so sad.
Okay, this is the Clank boss fight. Clank's evil twin.
Yeah, but
Wow,
as we said,
that's
we have
awesome.
enough of Clank already, so
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
that.
Oh!
What the hell?
The aim is too good.
Yeah, the charge boots are green. I don't know why. He looks good, I think.
And the second box. And that's the planet.
We can probably fit in a donation here.
That is all good. We have a $46 donation from Harlisle with the message, love some Ratchet and Clank speedrunning, good luck with the entire marathon, and most importantly, have fun. And they got a t-shirt with that donation. We also have a $5 donation from Namu with no message. I just wanted to remind everybody, please put your donations towards our incentives. We have some great incentives open currently for Final Fantasy VII, and we would love to hit those. So please remember, not only can you redeem a t-shirt with your donation, you can also put those towards our targets. Back to you guys.
Thank you. I'm gonna see Zeldin here.
Lugar del Impacto.
Lugar del Impacto. I'm sure I said that correctly. This is just a fat whip jump to the end of the level. Yeah. Oh, how did you bump at him? You hit the shield.
No, no, man. It's
That shield doesn't work correctly in this game.
Yep, we got the plan Maestro, and now we're going back.
oh, yo, 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 yo.
That's a fat high.
Don't go to
push,
Iridia. Don't go to Iridia. Don't go to Iridia. Yeah. From now on, the ship menu is going to default him onto a planet that has literally nothing on it. Like the most useless gadget in the series that is used twice casually, and obviously we don't need to get it full.
And it's very easy to skip even in casual gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Last the comic.
Last bit comic.
Hand's gone.
Yep. And we go to what's it called in
Works hideout
in Spanish? I mean,
in Spanish.
In Spanish, it's called yeah, it's called that. Look it out.
Escondite
That.
de Quark.
Yeah, really cool moving planet here. Just going out of bounds immediately, getting up here, and this is where they could be in the level.
Touching
just
the ice
back
there
to
just kills you instantly, so that was
Yep.
very close.
Oh,
this black
that
one
one.
jump.
no, we didn't even see the the planet screen, like the planet menu.
Yeah, let's get Rescue Com Gold.
Again.
Yeah,
Ah! Well,
fortunate. Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, I
Ooh,
say it.
the back up.
Yeah, that's a little tricky. You gotta do a specific timing there to get a very low to the ground jump with a mega flip, and then you can just barely make it onto that console and take a straight path for the rest of the level.
I actually had no idea you can make that with a double jump.
Yeah, you can.
Now we go to Koros.
2 more to go. I guess 3 technically.
Okay, Koros.
Guess what you're gonna see here?
You can do
Spoiler.
epic.
You're gonna
can do
see
epic.
Muffin or Bobs.
You have time.
Yeah. Wait, you should actually go through it.
I go for what?
Epic.
Epic.
I've never hit it ever though.
Go through one. Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Oh, we
you
got
can-
the
You're fine.
Yo!
Mid-air charge. Never mind.
Yeah, if you hit a certain slope, you can bounce and get sent flying. You probably usually you just die and you're stuck. It sets your respawn point like really far out, but luckily we were able to save it there, and now we're going into the final level.
Let's see, we just talked about Epic. We have a different version of it now.
Yeah, so essentially what we're doing is we're hitting a debug trigger, I guess? I'm not really
Yeah.
sure what it is, but there's a trigger somewhere that just sends you to the end of the level. It's right behind the spawn, next to that tower.
There we go. Now we're at the final boss.
Yep.
Do you have the nano pack?
I hope so. I should. I guess we'll see.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
I do.
Nice, yeah. That's gonna help us in a bit.
Shout out to the missiles.
Yeah, the missiles are completely bugged, they can't hit you at all.
Yep.
We're gonna take a quick death here, and then to the boss. Yeah, we just have to reset his pattern by dying to do a specific setup here, where you essentially despawn the boss AI. So what you're doing there is you're dying for a few frames, and then this gadget we have called the Nano Pack revives you, but he still thinks you're dead, so he's just laughing at you, which is something he does when you die. Little does he know, he's the one who's dying. You need to shoot him. And final boss, we're just
Final
gonna rapid
boss.
fire him down.
We
We shoot
are
the range
coming
after
up on
shooting,
time.
to kind of refresh the
Yeah, coming up on time.
shoot
right?
timer. Yeah, we're coming up in time. When he explodes, like 3 shots.
3, 2,
Go!
Time.
5.
Paradox
Well
Yara!
played. That was a great run.
Really good, yeah, actually.
Really good. That's
Oh,
probably like a
yes.
1-to-1 if we remove the switch times. So that's yeah, we did great.
This is a really good showcase, actually. Way ahead.
Let's get some more claps. Come on, we deserve it, guys. We deserve it.
Can I just squeeze in one quick donation?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
We have a $10 donation from Aquas with the donor message. It's surreal to watch the Willem play without Willem Dafoe drip click playing in the background.
Where's the DJ Smokey? Can we get it on
Yeah,
your
there's
save?
no-
Can we get it on your save? Oh, you know, game. Yeah, I think that's all from us.
We should shout out.
Yeah, I'm gonna do shout outs. I'm gonna shout out the Ratchet and Clank community. Everyone in the Ratchet and Clank community is yeah, everyone in the let's talk about them, by the way. Everyone in the Ratchet and Clank community is amazing. If you liked what you saw in any of these games, go to speedrun.com/RNC, RAC, and join our Discord. We can get you up to speed, learning any of these games if you wanna. I highly recommend checking them out. We're always looking for new runs.
Yeah, it can look pretty scary, but it's not as bad as it seems a lot of the time. Like It's scary. I definitely recommend giving it a try. It's really fun.
Yeah, shout out all the runners of all these games. You know, there's too many people to shout out who found strats, who ran, who
Oh, yeah,
played all three
there's
of
a
these
ton.
games. So we love you all, and you know, anyone who's not here, we wish you were here.
All right, that's it.